Hello, Fabulous Virgo. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of March 2017, looking at life and love. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It's really good to be back. Thank you so much for staying with me. And what a month it is. Super exciting now, as we have a full moon happening in your sign, and this is happening in the middle of the month. Now, this is huge, okay? Normally, each sign gets one full moon per year, and this is yours. It tends to be a time when there's a whole lot of emotion rising, lots of feelings, heart right on the surface, and it tends to be a time where you get to be a little bit more in touch with your truth and admitting your truth to yourself. The thing is, the way that full moons like to work is they like to help us to accept what it is that is right there plainly to see. They help us to look at things a little bit differently, as I like to say, in the full light of the full moon, and help us to understand what we really feel about it and where it is that we are ready for change. We're ready for release and closure in some ways, and we're ready to embrace the new and the next and be excited about it going forward. So we've got this full moon happening, and it is speaking with Saturn and Pluto and standing across your ruling planet Mercury. Now, I'm really excited about this. I do think it says something about being aware of yourself and seeing yourself differently. I think it also speaks very strongly to relationships and love and partnerships of all kinds. And I'll talk about love in just a moment. But remember, the thing is, the focus is on you. The focus is on who you are, what you really want, and what you know to be true in your heart of hearts. So we've got this full moon also speaking with Saturn. This does suggest that there's some sense of maybe things not being exactly perfect or exactly as you'd like. Maybe there being some sense of sacrifice playing out as well. But all of this to me is incredibly encouraging for you, because it does suggest a sense and an opportunity to transcend what otherwise or previously might have felt like a little bit of a limitation. And the rewards certainly are there. This full moon is also speaking with Pluto. So there's this sense of power, of positive change, and of things moving in a direction that feels strong and certain. But remember, there is that Saturn. So sacrifice is involved, and maybe overcoming some of your own resistance or feeling that there's some sort of a delay in terms of you exactly having exactly what you want. But the possibility is there, and the promise is there, and promise can go a really long way with a full moon like this, with all the power that it packs. Now, we also have Venus going retro early this month, and that Venus is going to go retro in a part of the sky for you that has to do with what we call other people's money. So things like grants, loans, bursaries, insurance payments, tax returns, benefits you may qualify for, financial settlements as well. And we're actually going to have that Venus go retro and meet a new moon at the very end of the month. So this is going to be really powerful, because this does suggest quite strongly in some cases that you are going to be thinking about money. You are going to be having to deal with these different types of financial institutions. Now, ultimately, this is Venus, and so it is a blessing, and it does mean that if there is any money owed to you, or that you expected owed to you, or if there's been an ongoing matter, this can be a really good time to find the right solutions to get your money, to get your benefits, to find that right closure that you may need. And to also have a sense of a new beginning, a financial new beginning at that, one that ultimately has a lot of blessing energy to it. Remember, Venus, even when she's retro and her energy might not be in full force going forward, she is very close to the earth. That's what happens when she goes retro. She's particularly close to the earth, which means her power is actually magnified. It's magnified in a sense that you can go back and do things over again and have things go more your way. Not so much where it comes to like moving forward with new things. So that's where I want you to find that right balance. It's a new moon, and normally new moons say new beginnings, fresh starts. But with that Venus retrograde hand in hand with this new moon happening late this month, it very likely is going to in some way, yes, there'll be some new beginning, but it will in some way be connected to an ongoing matter or allow a new resolution to maybe something that's been ongoing for a while, or some benefits that you've been trying to get or you thought you qualified for but then didn't think you did. So things like that can come up under a sky like this. Now, love. Let's talk about love. Love is going to be a really big theme this month, and you're actually feeling it coming into the month. And that really is thanks to an eclipse that happened just before last month ended. And this eclipse was in your opposite sign. Really big for those of you in established partnerships in particular, because this tends to be a time when some new announcement, new possibility, new beginning shows up in terms of love. So if you are in an established bond, chances are your partner made some kind of an announcement already. You're having this, or you'll have it at the very, very beginning of this month, but some kind of announcement, some kind of decision of something that they want to do. And ultimately you're kind of like, okay, going along with it, right? Ultimately, I'm really excited about this particular eclipse because there is a real sense now of moving towards something that feels more ideal, maybe even feels dreamy. There's a lot of like swept away energy with this. And so it could very well be that your partner is chasing a dream of some kind. And it could be that you get a little caught up in it as well. Nothing wrong with that. They may be making some plans, whether or not it involves you. It does look like the money though works out. If there's a financial element to it, part of it. This Venus retrograde also speaks to a part of the sky for you that has to do with your spouse's income. So if you're in an established bond, and it could very well be your spouse is part of what ends up bringing in greater financial prosperity into your life, especially as we move later in the month. So it looks like financially your partner is going to figure out their way forward, and there is that particular blessing in their financial outlook as we move into this month. For those of you who are open to meeting someone new, I do think that this eclipse is really good in terms of helping you to believe in love again. And that's huge. A big part of love is believing that it's possible for you. It's going to be a topic definitely on conversation, something that you're considering, and you're looking at the value of love in your life. The great thing is with Neptune and Mercury hand in hand with this eclipse, there's willingness, there's fresh perspectives, and really a sense of maybe allowing yourself to hope enough to even consider your way forward and options forward. For some of you out there, it's very possible you could meet somebody where it definitely feels very swept off your feet, and then you get to the middle of the month and that's where it starts to get a little bit more real. Nothing wrong with real, as I like to say, nothing wrong with that. That's where real love happens. But that's really where like sort of the fullness of what you really want and what you think this person is going to be able to give or not give, and facing any disappointments that have been there in the past is very likely to come up. But this is also the time when you get answers that are well needed. And if you're in an established bond, this is where what once was a fanciful idea or dream starts to manifest and sort of the tangible details start to come together. What I love about this month for you is that sense of understanding how much your heart actually knows. There's a lot of wisdom inside of you, and there's a lot of wisdom that's happening on levels of intuition and love as well. And it really is love now that guides your way towards some very powerful changes that might have felt a little overdue in some cases, but nonetheless bring about some powerful and pleasant results. Well, thank you so much for watching. I'm so glad to be back. If you would like a video just like this every single week, an expanded horoscope for your sign, log on to astrofabulous.com or nadiyashah.com and become one of my Astrofabulous superstars. It's been so incredible. It's a brand new community, and you sign up and you get instant access to expanded horoscopes just like this one each and every week. Brand new videos every week for all signs. Astrofabulous.com or nadiyashah.com. I look forward to interacting with you as one of my future more present, depending on where we are right now, as one of my superstars. And thank you so much, of course, for being here right here on YouTube. Really, really happy to be back. I really am. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.